This is Cult Film Face Off.
Hello and welcome back to Cult Film Face Off, episode 63. With me, as always, is Chet Roivas.
Hello.
And I am Nick Leonard. In this episode, we're going to be taking a gander at two largely forgotten 90s comedies. We are talking Freaked from 1993 versus Mystery Men from 1999. First up, with more latex on show than you could shake a rubber fist at, is Freaked, directed by Tom Stern and Alex Winter. An egocentric actor, his best friend, and an activist wind up in a mutant freak farm run by a barking mad, splicing-obsessed scientist. Freaked.
Ricky Coogan, Brat Pack Sleazebag. Elijah C. Scuggs, Freak Show Tycoon, an amateur bioengineer.
I can look at a guy like Kevin Costner and see a giant peach grub.
When fate brought them together, Mr. Scuggs took an average Hollywood slime ball and made something out of him.
Oh God, this was my good side!
20th Century Fox presents Freaked. It's about friendship.
I thought I told you to shut up!
Loyalty.
I say we kill him!
Life's big questions.
How many feminists does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Oh, show business.
The public does not want to see disgusting, depraved, violent filth.
And I suppose Jake and the Fat Man was just a fluke.
It's about state-of-the-art technology. It's about Mr. T's the bearded lady.
I am woman. Now like me.
It's about Bobcat Goldthwait as a sock.
It's the end of the world! The apocalypse!
It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry.
And it'll make a cold sore that you thought had healed up start bugging you again.
It's the kind of film Brooke Shields has always wanted to do.
Oh.
Introducing Larry Bud Melman as the President of the United States.
What's the matter? Afraid of a little rock stuff?
In Freaked, coming soon to a theater. Freaked, but ugly, but funny.
Welcome to show business, morons!
Right, Freaked. What are you saying? Have you seen it?
I saw it. I forget whether I remember reading about it in movie magazines when I was a kid because I was a huge, still am a huge fan of Bill and Ted, and I always thought it was like Keanu Reeves was everywhere, still is, and I just thought, oh, Alex Winter, what's happening? I was always rooting for Bill. So when I heard in magazines that I read that this flopped in the States, I was gutted. And this I either rented this, it either went straight to video and I rented it, or it went straight to Sky. Yeah. I think it was the latter. So I saw it as early as I could. I watched the premiere. I remember, or I rented it. I can't remember, but I saw it as early as I could, and it didn't really work on me. It didn't really leave much of an impression. I didn't engage with it. I didn't find it funny. So I was interested to watch it again.
How was it?
I enjoyed the absolute hell out of this film. What did you think of it though?
So I had never heard of it. Never come across it.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it didn't really release here.
No,
effect.
And I was like, this is going to be terrible. It's something I've never heard of. It's obviously disappeared into the ether. I mean, for the first 30 minutes, I was just like, fuck. Like, it's super hyperactive, really colourful. I mean, quick fire gags. Gags. I mean, that first boardroom scene.
Oh, with the choir.
I was just
George.
cracking
Me too, yeah.
I was like, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Bill Pullman is superb as the cigar chomping
he can do
CEO
it.
suit.
He's the most underregarded actor. He can do anything.
He's brilliant.
Great comedy, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was completely I was really laughing. I was like, shit, how the hell? Why is this forgotten? It doesn't keep up the hit rate with gags as the film goes on. But my first impression of that first half hour was just like, this is great. I'm all for it.
Yeah, there's lots of gurning, lots of mugging, sudden bursts of random emotion. It's very, very off the wall.
And I mean, this is aimed squarely at like beer drinking, pot smoking.
I suppose it is. Yeah, I suppose it is.
I mean, if you watch this when you're stoned as well, I mean, it's just the perfect way to watch it.
Yeah, part of the issue with movies like this, part of the reason that so many comedies never get a fair shake is that I don't know how you'd review this effectively as a critic. I don't know how you'd actually review this because all I know is that I didn't tire of the very, very loopy tone. I laughed at most of the gags. I mean, to try and illustrate what the film's like, and I'd want to avoid spoilers, particularly with regard to jokes, but this is the kind of film where inanimate objects have flashbacks and where one character can communicate exclusively by laughing. That's the kind of humour it is, and I just really, like most comedies, it has complete disdain for structure, complete disdain for story, really. So, I mean, for example, there's a cameo in the film. And the film is kind of structured around that person not having any time to be in the film. So the film kind of shifts to make way for this person literally running off the film, running away. Does that bother you? It didn't fucking bother me. I don't want to invoke Monty Python, but it's so...
I think it's 2 parts Monty Python, 1 part Garbage Pail Kids, 1 part Mad Magazine.
Yeah. But it's one thing I will say about it, one thing I really, really liked about it, it's a film about a freak show. It's not mean-spirited or nasty at all.
No,
it's actually
a
very, very amiable and likeable and upbeat, and not it films like this often can leave a sort of sour taste in the mouth. I thought it was actually really quite a sweet-natured, nice movie.
There is a sweet-natured tone to it, actually.
Yeah.
Randy Quaid is really good in it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's perfect casting. I don't think he's actually ever been as good. I think he's
very
good in National Anthem.
No, I was going to say that's a similar character, like a grotesque.
But I think this could be his best performance.
Yeah, he's very good. I mean, the only downside, really, in terms of the humour, is that there's a couple of sort of industry jokes, like Brooke Shields disses the Blue Lagoon sequel at one point. I was like, that's lame. And then they have this bit where Alex Winter's dissing Christian Slater's acting ability. It's so on the nose, and it doesn't really fit in.
There is a point where the gags start getting way more immature and nonsensical. I mean, there's a line where a character goes, "This turd looks like Winona Ryder."
Yeah, anything that's movie industry, even tenuously related to the movie industry, that's sort of breaking the fourth wall like that way, didn't work. But it peters out quite late. I think it kind of sort of treads water for maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes towards the end. But until then, I just thought it was great. I mean,
I like the fact that all of the freaks dress up as milkmen.
That's right. Honestly, this is one of the... I was just going to say, the more I thought about it over the last few weeks, the more I like it, and the more I'm keen to watch it again.
I mean, there's a set of characters that had me cracking up every time they came on screen.
Oh, the eyeballs.
The Rastagard eyeballs. Rastafari, nobody move, nobody get hurt.
I mean, this hasn't got... I mean, this is a bona fide cult film.
I was kicking myself that I had not seen this when I was young. When I was into my pot smoking days, I would have rinsed this.
I saw it when I must have been 10, 11, 12, and I didn't get it. Would I have? No, 13, 14. I must have been in my early teens. I didn't really get it. And I had no desire to sort of see it again after that. But apparently, it got us sort of... It was at some sort of fantasy themed festival in Glasgow recently, very recently.
Got a screening.
Yeah, it went down really well. Apparently, really well, as it should. And they're I think imminently they're re-releasing the soundtrack on vinyl.
Okay.
So
very 90s soundtrack.
Yeah, big time. I mean, it's a very 90s film. It even looks 90s.
Through and through.
Yeah.
It's so 90s. And the effects, we have to pay big fucking props to the special effects. Mad George,
Screaming Mad George,
Screaming Mad George. It's just the man's a wonder.
Yeah,
his team are a wonder.
Yeah, totally.
Is there a certain gag that stood out for you? I mean, I know we're talking about the boardroom scene, but the Valdez shrinking is... I was just pissing myself.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to...
And also the Ginger Superfan getting referred to as a Tron getting sucked out of the aircraft made me laugh as well. Quite inappropriate, but like brilliantly inappropriate.
There's too many to mention, really. I mean, I kind of alluded to a couple that I don't want to spoil.
Well, we spoil everything on this. So
no, I don't want to
hear about the gag. You don't hear about the gag now, like turn down. But I'd say, this is a kind of a disclaimer, I think, for the show, is that definitely urge you to have watched these films before listening to us, because we spoil them completely.
Yeah, I mean, I did like the guy who could only communicate by laughing, different laughs. I just thought that was really funny, and the flashback. The Hammer has a flashback. I hope I'm not spoiling anything, but yeah, the Hammer having a flashback to a previous existence. I mean, I just thought it was persistently amusing, quite anarchic. But again, it has such disdain for the fact that it even has to have a narrative. It's one of those comedies where it's just like, yes, we're doing the bare minimum that this qualifies as a film, but it would rather just be completely chaotic. The more I think about it, the more I like it.
Yeah, I was totally surprised. I really was geared up for a stinker, and I really enjoyed it.
It is what it is as well. That's
but it wears its colours on its fucking sleeve. Yeah. There's no compromise. I love the fact that they were allowed to go fucking wild with it.
Yeah, but it got kind of buried apparently because the studio they made it for, it got taken over after the new guy in charge just didn't like it, so he buried it basically, which is a real shame. But now it's kind of, have you tried to look into getting hold of the Blu-ray?
No.
Have a look at how much it is on Amazon. 100 plus pounds. It's incredibly rare. So yeah.
Wow.
There's going to be some lavish re-release scene, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, a very, very entertaining comedy for sure.
Yeah, agree. Okay, next up from 1999, directed by Kinka Usher, is Mystery Men. In Champion City, a group of inept superheroes must band together to save Captain Amazing from an evil supervillain who threatens to destroy not only him, but the entire city. Mystery Men.
In a place called Champion City, the forces of good and evil
Captain Amazing, what a surprise.
are about to collide.
Well, we've always been each other's greatest nemesises.
Nemesis.
Now, with the city's one true hero missing,
Captain Amazing is in danger.
Kaboom.
who will step forward
You again. Wannabes.
to answer the call of justice?
Don't mess with the volcano, my man, because I will go Pompeii on your butt.
Oh, golly.
They've been waiting for this moment
The city's in peril, Lucille.
all of their lives.
Butch needs his vest back.
Well, it's my vest, too. I bought it for him.
But now that their time has come,
I'm a superhero, too.
What's his power?
they're going to need all the help they can get.
We gotta find a lot of superheroes really quickly. State your name and power.
PMS Avenger. I only work 4 days a month. Is there a problem with that?
No. I am the Waffler. Waffle Man!
Am I too late to try out?
Sorry.
You're in.
Wow, my first mission and we're gonna rescue Captain Amazing. Here we go.
Universal Pictures presents
We need to talk about your plans.
I'm going to kill you.
Right, that's the part that really doesn't work for me.
a new league of heroes that step to a different beat.
Well, I am a ticking time bomb of fury.
I don't find you threatening at all.
Let's do some carnage.
We're not your classic heroes. We're the other guys.
Mystery Men.
I'm invisible. Can you see me?
Yes.
Wow.
Maybe you should put some shorts on or something if you want to keep fighting evil today.
Right, Mystery Men. Have you seen it? Have you heard of it? I'm assuming you heard of it. But have you seen
I saw it at the cinema, and it's one of only two films. One of only three films that I walked out of.
You walked out of it?
I walked out of it. So I was
harsh.
Yeah, I was.
What point did you walk out of it?
I must have been in there for half an hour, and I walked out. I don't think there was a specific scene. I just thought, I'm not watching this. This is not clicking with me at all. So I was looking forward to going back and watching it with fresh eyes. And I understand why I walked out, and I would do it again. First, when it started, I thought, why is this rubbing me up the wrong way straight away? Why is this irritating me immediately? And it's because, for some reason, it looks like the Joel Schumacher Batman films. I mean, exactly.
It's a carbon copy.
Why would you want to replicate that shithousery? It made me. It started. I was like, this is irritating me already. I don't want to look at this. This is a fucking crap idea that isn't funny, executed back. This is an overbearingly tedious film. I hated it. What did you think?
Oh, I didn't hate it.
I hated it.
I actually, for me, it's a film of two halves. I actually think there's I really like Greg Kinnear as he's perfectly cast as the smarmy corporate superhero. His performance is pitch perfect. I really enjoyed that. The cast is good. William H. Macy, Jeffrey Rush, Greg Kinnear. Eddie Izzard's completely wasted because he's just got nothing to work with. Ben Stiller's casting is spot on. I mean, he really plays that annoying character really well with his powder keg of rage. When it falls down for me is the introduction of like Pee Wee Herman, who I find teeth gnawingly annoying. It's such a misfire. I mean, every single guy. It's just not funny at all.
Nope.
Tom Waits. I like Tom Waits' cameo. You know, the business card, which he's got weapons designer, innovator, inventor, world changer on four corners. It's got aromatherapy, laser hair removal, carnival rides, and chicken rentals. That's really funny. So the first half I was getting into it, and then I was just like, fucking hell. when is this going to end? When is it going to end? It was just, the dialogue was really flat. They weren't popping off each other at all. You know, the conceit could have been quite entertaining. You know, really rubbish superheroes trying to save like a legitimate superhero. There are some good one-liners. There's some well-observed one-liners all about the sort of superhero world. I like when Ben Stiller goes, "We need to find someone like the Flaming Torch before he got hot." That's what's quite funny. So the first half an hour was good, and then it's just spinning the wheels, and it just didn't work. It felt like it could have like a good short film or something. It just didn't have the ideas to carry it through.
I thought there were, if I was being generous, there were a couple of good lines, that's it. But the laughs, whatever laughs there may have been, were kind of strangled by the director. You know, dying's easy, comedy's hard. The director just seemed to commit Harry Carey. I don't understand. He's a first-time director. He came from advertising, I think.
You can see he comes from. He's got his visual style is very forceful and stylish.
You get random Dutch angles. There's random handheld that's completely unnecessary and distracting, and then there's random conversations that are done in point of view, like William H. Macy's character and his wife, point of view shots. Why? What is this?
I think he's a guy just trying out his trade. Well, he's just trying some ideas.
Well, I mean, it's catastrophic as far as I'm concerned.
I think there's a bit for that. I think he's got this kind of charming innocence about it.
No, I
just think it's got this charming innocence about it. I mean, I'd never seen this, but I was working at Blockbuster Video when this was on the rental market, and it flew. It got rented all the time, Mystery Men. It's very popular.
I wonder. I mean, people like this film, and I don't really understand why. I think you're right. The actors are very, very good. They do their best with very, very poor material. I mean, Ben Stiller trying not to lose his temper was amusing, but like the idea is not really mine for laughs. Him losing his temper isn't. But
I think the scenes that work were the bickering scenes around the coffee table where they're trying to get their shit together.
I thought that was piss poor. I thought that was.
And the action sequences. The action sequences are done well.
I didn't think that either. Jeffrey Rush's accent, is he German? Is he Transylvanian?
I don't know.
I mean, Paul Rubens, he has a speech impediment.
Paul Rubens just.
Yeah, but he's got a spit. I mean, I was watching it thinking, what is this?
Gags, isn't it? That's his.
Yeah, he farts some people, and he's got facial like disfigurement, or he's got like lumps on his face or something. He's just repulsive. But I was like, are these people supposed to be mentally ill? Are they supposed to be delusional? Are they actually superheroes? Is Greg Kinnear even a superhero? Is this a world where superheroes exist? Are they supposed? I don't understand what this is. Do they have powers or not? Do powers?
Well, they don't. They're complete inept.
I know, but even Greg Kinnear, what the? Okay. Let me just stop and break it down in slightly more detail. Paul Rubens, your hero, his character's name is the Spleen, which I suppose is funny because the spleen has nothing to do with the digestive process, which I suppose makes it funny. There's the diner scene, right, where he exhibits that he has a superhero power, a power that's not normal, where he breaks wind and a load of people pass out. So he's a superhero. He can knock people out with his gas, right? Later on, he farts in Jeffrey Rush's face and nothing happens. He just goes, "Oh, that was unpleasant." I'm like, I assume the scene in the diner was just put in there to give, you know, this too cool for school film that's actually aimed at adults. Like they needed to put a gag for kids in there because, but the whole way through, I'm just like, does he have like toxic gas or not? Is he a superhero? Is this a superpower or not? Because one minute it works, one minute it doesn't. Hank Azaria, the Blue Raja. He throws forks at people. That's what he does. That's his skill. He throws forks. In one scene, he throws a fork and it becomes possessed. Ping, ping, ping. It's pinging all over the place, like mental. And then he turns and looks at Janine Garofalo, and Janine Garofalo looks back at him, and she just kind of shrugs, like, "What the fuck was that about?" Was his fork's proximity to her ball the reason that it was possessed? Does he actually have magic powers? I don't know. Also, he's called the Blue Raja and he dresses in green, and I thought that's just lame. They're not going to elaborate on that. That sums this film up. It's rubbish. But I actually found out there's a deleted scene where you see him at work. He sells cutlery, and they force him to wear this awful turquoise suit with a blue tie and a blue shirt. I thought that's actually a really nice joke. William H. Macy and Ben Stiller come and see him in his place of work, and I thought not only is that actually one of the best jokes in the film, doesn't say much, but it is. The scene of them coming is actually far more relevant to the plot than anything else, and they cut it out. Replace that with one of the multitude of scenes where they're arguing around a fucking table. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Invisible Boy, who is incidentally the one person who I couldn't work out if this was in the script or whether it's the way it's played, but he's kind of, the rest of the cast kind of look at him like this guy's like he's a mental case. Where's that line, and why isn't the shoveler on the side of it at the same time? Because when they start acting like he's a widow, I'm like, you're all widows, isn't that the point? He bypasses a laser beam at the end by apparently becoming invisible. So he does have a superpower, but the way the music swells, you just think, is he believing in himself, and that's the message of the film? I just don't get it. Captain Superior, aka Captain Amazing, whatever the fuck his name was, all you see him do in this film is jump through a window and punch 6 guys. So I was like, why do people love him so much? Why is he revered? Why is he the greatest superhero? Is it because of his sponsors? Did his sponsors... Is he like because there's one scene where you see these kind of booster things on his back, on the back of his suit. Does that mean that he's kind of like a low-rent Iron Man and his sponsors paid for the suit? Why is he so renowned? Again, I don't understand. Is he a superhero? Why do people think he's the greatest superhero of all time? He punched a bunch of guys. What's the story? Anyway, basically what I'm saying is, imagine asking this many frustrating, fundamental questions for a 5-minute period and then multiply that by 24 times, because this is 122 minutes long. It's 2 hours plus. I've got better things to do with my time, and so has everyone else on the planet. I honestly, I wish this film were a person so I could push it down a giant stone staircase. I mean, I don't. This felt to me like Ishtar or Pluto Nash. It's one of those big Hollywood movies in which nothing works. Everything's wrong with it. I didn't find anything that I could genuinely like. I thought it was fucking awful. I disliked it in the way that I dislike insufferable people. Like, I was like, get out. I was just shouting at the screen, end, get out of my life. 2 hours plus. This is 2 hours plus. All of the dialogue felt semi-improvised, and there was no... I didn't think any of it was amusing or insightful.
I was really caught up in the first half an hour, and then it just started to grate on me. An introduction to secondary characters who weren't doing anything to get the story along. It was spinning the wheels for way longer than it should have done. This is half an hour at best. It had half an hour's worth of good ideas.
It should. I don't even think it had that. I mean, if you were to do a supercut of the best scenes in this film, it would just be Ben Stiller squeezing the squeezy toy to stop himself from that. Really, that's a funny joke. Well done. It should be better and easier to enjoy now that we're living in a world where 99% of pop culture is based around superheroes. But it doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's not satire. It's not perceptive or witty about superheroes or the world, and it's not really about anything. I don't know what this is. I don't know why this exists. There was a retrospective written on a website fairly recently that I found the other day that was kind of positive and said, and I looked at all the comments, and there's loads of people who love this film, and they're just doing things like quoting Hank Azaria's like puns about forks, and I was like, is that why people love this? Those are shit. We've talked about much worse films on this podcast. This made me seethe. This made me angry. I hated it. When it has the structure of a Hollywood movie where towards the end William H. Macy has to give a grandstanding speech, I felt sick. It didn't earn this. There's no reason for this to be other than the fact that it has to have something before they go off on a big mission at the end. This has not been earned. I mean, I hated this film so much. I hated it.
I just find it. There was, as I said before, there was a charming innocence about this. I think that's maybe why people are enjoying it. And also, in terms of the visuals, they wound you up. Because it reminded you of Batman and Robin. Is that it actually looked good? I know it was emulating that. But the skyscrapers, the blimps, the neon, it all looked legit.
You could cut so much out of it. I mean, almost everything.
The character. I mean, this is the thing. When they are sitting around the coffee table and they're bickering, there's some really fun. There's some funny stuff.
I mean, I really was just like, this feels like improv that they just could have. This is a 2 hours of scenes that could have been cut out, that don't really bring the story forward, that don't really tell you anything about the characters.
It's certainly overlong, but it certainly didn't wind me up. It's very unpretentious.
Oh, this felt like... I was offended by this. It's an expensive film that wants to be cheap, and it's a film for undemanding children that thinks it's a trendy film for adults, and it's a comedy with hardly any jokes, and it's an action film with hardly any action in it. There's no alternative director's cut that could work, because everything is wrong with it. I thought it was fucking diabolical. I can't even imagine a version of the script that could work. It's just a tossed off waste of time. I hated it. I really did.
I think the whole conceit of having inept superheroes is a good idea.
Yeah, one of them shovels. He's a shoveler.
It's weird that he's a shoveler. I mean, but is that just to be completely
It's not funny.
Shoveling superpower. I don't really get it.
It's not funny.
But the character who throws forks and lives at home with his mother,
it's rubbish.
He's a pathetic human being, but they're so pathetic.
But it doesn't really. It's not really about anything.
The woman who rocks up with the bowling ball, and her father's dead in the bowling ball, and Pee Wee Herman, the guy from Kenan and Kel, who's meant to be invisible, is not invisible, is rubbish. Yeah, those secondary characters are bilge. But the first, that first scene when they're fighting those guys with the fucking the eyes where I was like, this is alright. Okay, this is fine. This is quite fun. It's random. For me, the highlight of this is Greg Kinnear. I just wish there was more of him. He's this smarmy corporate guy who's got all these sponsorship badges all over him. him from the the different sponsors.
But again, it's like it's threatening some really interesting ideas. The idea of this guy being sort of beholden to his sponsors.
It's a great idea.
It's like a tiny little moment they don't elaborate on. There is not a good idea in this film as far as I'm concerned. Honestly, I rolled my eyes so many times watching this that I technically saw as much of my ceiling as I did the fucking film. And
I don't know who it's aimed at.
No, I don't know who it's for. I don't know. I really don't.
Because I was thinking there, because it's not a kids' film. It's too adult to be a kids' film, but then it's too kind of childlike to be an adult.
Yeah, because it doesn't exactly. It's confused about every aspect of it.
It didn't wind me up though.
I was just like, what is this? Why are you wasting my time with this? What is this world? What's supposed to exist in it? Who's supposed to have superpowers? Who isn't? What are they supposed to be? Mental cases. It doesn't even go out on a limb in that respect. I mean,
so you definitely want to see a reboot of this then? Get the cast back together.
I can't. But I can't. I'm perplexed that anybody likes this. It's
got loads of fans.
I know it has
loads of fans,
and I don't understand. When I saw them talking about it, a lot of them are just quoting the bad lines of dialogue. Hank Azaria, I'm going to fork you up, or whatever he says. I mean. I really, really thought this was a dreadful failure. The fact that this was a turkey, I'm like, yeah, of course it is. It was a lame idea, executed poorly, and it's 2 hours plus long.
He's never done anything.
King Karasha. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised.
He came from Mad World. He did he was like. He can lines winning director doing Volvo, and he did the Bridgestone Super Bowl ad.
He went back to advertising,
and then he's never heard from him again.
And as far as I'm aware, he hasn't spoke about this experience, but it can't have been happy, and I'm not surprised. Yeah. This should be renowned the way. I don't understand why people like
Pluto Nash.
Pluto
I've
Nash.
never seen Pluto Nash.
It's the same as this. But everything's wrong with it.
Which is better, Pluto Nash or Mystery?
I'd rather watch Pluto Nash again.
Right.
They're both unspeakably piss poor. You could cut everything out of it. Did you clock Michael Bay randomly?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
As a frat boy prick.
Frat boy prick.
Yeah, I was like, perfect.
That casting.
He pulled that off with a plum.
Yeah. Any more, or should we? Got some correspondence on this.
I have nothing good to say about this apart from I laughed when there was that one shot of Ben Stiller trying not to stress out.
I think Ben Stiller is
very good. They're all good.
They're all really good.
Yeah.
Why I kind of what I liked about this film was the cast. The cast were really good across the board.
I totally agree.
Many years I've been completely underused. It's just a bit of a waste of time. But the rest of them were spot on.
I was just like, Hearty Ha. He's got a speech impediment. Hearty Ha. He wants to be a show. It's like a million little germs of ideas that could be jokes that don't ever develop into it. I have nothing more to say about it. Absolute crap.
Right, a fan. Okay, so Sean Andrews Earlham, Freaked is an underrated gem.
Yes, it is.
Agree. Brendan Brino Devereaux, hands down Mystery Men.
No, absolutely not.
Ben Zuckerman, Mystery Men, tough one to call though.
These people need to be in rehab.
Will Gray, Mystery Men.
What? I don't get it.
Martin Daniel, Freaked.
Okay, good lad.
Christopher D. Martin, Freaked. Al Winter, Freaked.
Nice. Al Winter, huh? Alex Winter.
Yeah. It's good to hear that he's getting involved in the show.
Yeah.
Right. Well, look, I mean, for me, in terms of choosing a victor, it's Freaked.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Freaked from start to finish.
I liked Freaked a lot.
Really surprised how good it was, how funny it was. I laughed lots.
Yeah, me too.
Really likeable.
Yeah. No doubt.
Mystery Men certainly don't have the hate for it that you have.
Yeah, I hate it.
I didn't hate it. It's not a great film, but it's not. It's perfectly watchable. It's overlong. The cast are great. Champion City looks great purely from a SFX standpoint. I hate Pee Wee Herman. Ben Stiller was great. I mean, I think it's possibly one of the Ben Stiller's best. Apart, White Goodman is his best, but I just love watching Ben Stiller lose his shit. It lulls towards the end, but it was fine. It was absolutely fine.
I thought it was one bit. It's a lull.
It was just overlong. But no, Freak, 100%. Freaked is the better film. But Mystery Men, hey, I'm not a hater.
Yeah, well, Freaked is terrifically enjoyable. It's gone up in my estimation every day that's passing.
Yeah, and I'd have to watch it again and introduce it to friends as well. Especially you come in from the pub late at night and sit down.
Yeah, and it's nice. It's like 80 odd minutes, isn't it? Or
yeah,
so?
Six by.
Perfect length.
Yeah.
And
there's a really odd bit with Mr. T with the dubbing. He says something off camera,
right?
And it's so not him.
It's because he walked off the set. Apparently, he left. Like he was just, I'm not doing this anymore, and he left. So that must have been to disguise that.
He looks pretty uncomfortable. There's certain scene. There's towards the end when all of the whole crew, the ensemble cast are together. Just look at Mr. T. He's not having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, celebrities of that kind of nature always feel like they're having the piss taken out of them, I guess. Maybe he must have thought that he was being exploited or something like that. But yeah, he walked off apparently before. Yeah, I mean, you said that there was a lull in Mystery Men. It's one long lull. It's just a load of deleted scenes. It doesn't make sense. It's interminable. If you ever need to extract valuable information out of me, stick Mystery Men on in the corner, and I'll be 10 minutes. If I go the rest of my life never seeing a frame of Mystery Men ever again, it will be a victory.
Would you rather watch Slugs or Mystery Men?
Slugs.
Wow.
I was shouting abuse at the TV. This wound me up so much. It's one of those awful Hollywood movies where they just waste money and nobody is entirely sure who the target audience is, what the target of the joke.
It's mystifying who that was aimed at. It's a mess in terms of who they were marketing that film to.
And it's just interminable. There's bickering with no jokes in them. I just thought it's a horrible, horrible experience. Yeah. Never see Mystery Men. Freaked is a terrific little movie. That's the thing. Freak knows what it is and it does what it does. Mystery Men doesn't have a clue about anything and nobody involved in it. They're all. It's not even that they're all shooting for something different. Nobody really knows what this film is. What is it? I never understood. Was it a comedy about? I don't know. I've said enough. I hated the film. Freaked is wicked.
Freak for the win.
No doubt.
Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook. All episodes are eventually being cut to YouTube. iTunes reviews really help the cause. Yep. And keep suggestions coming in for films. We want to hear. And also, we want to hear what you thought about what we said. If you fucking totally agree with Chet that you cannot stand Mystery Men and it makes you more angry than paedophiles and trolls online, let us know. You love it, let us know. But thanks very much for listening. We'll see you again soon.
Take it easy.
Chocolate.